This even gets more interesting. If you have a belief that I'm not beautiful, I'm not wonderful, nobody wants me, you're going to see that everywhere. You're going to see evidence of that everywhere. If you have a belief, I'm a wonderful person, and I love connecting with people, and people love connecting with me, you're going to see that everywhere. Your mind is everything. There is a reason I have spent 25 years studying my mind, because I realized early on that that was the problem. The problem wasn't life. The problem wasn't happening in life. That wasn't the problem. The problem was what my mind was doing with it. My mind was programmed in a relatively dysfunctional childhood, surrounded by unconsciousness and suffering. It wasn't an awful childhood, but I was born in your average, lovingly dysfunctional Italian family. And I got the wooden spoon and the strap and the emotional stuff and the silent treatment, and I was born to people that just weren't conscious, and they were just acting out what had been taught to them, that had been handed down from generation to generation to generation to generation, stopped with me. So when we talk about transcending the mind, we're going beyond all that garbage. We're going beyond the story in our mind about us, about our life. We're going beyond past. We're going beyond future. To reside just as the self. Present in the moment. Present in the moment. And then using the mind as a tool. Realizing that I'll never be any more than I am now. I'll never be any less than I am now. My life will never be any better than it is now. It'll never be any worse than it is now. It will be different. I will have experiences. And I will learn from those experiences and see more clearly. The experiences will help me see more clearly. And so transcending the mind, going beyond all thought, is really challenging at first, because you want to think about not thinking. And you can't think your way into not thinking. Think about that. What are you hearing? Thoughts? Well, it's interesting now because all your minds are like, probably there's a lot of chatter going on in your minds, right? Like, man, what is he saying? It kind of makes sense, but what am I going to wrong with that? Anybody want to share what's going on in their mind right now? Sure. I'm sorry. Would you use the mic, please?
As you were talking,
by the way, tell me your name.
I'm Phyllis.
Phyllis,
It's
nice
my
to meet
first time
you.
here.
Welcome.
Same here.
I'm Tom.
As you were talking, I was envisioning the movie The Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you were, like, something like that? Like, but he.
What part exactly of the movie The Matrix?
Well, just the mind. Like being controlled by everything around you.
It was interesting. There was a part in The Matrix where he was, the one guy who was like, diming out everybody, and he's sitting there eating a steak. Do you remember this scene?
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, I know that I'm not here in this Matrix, and I know that this steak isn't real, but man, I'm really enjoying it. And he just takes a big bite out of it.
Right.
One of the things in The Matrix that I really thought was interesting was when he would be walking down the street in the Matrix and just kind of bumping into people, and you could tell he was the only one that was really present, and everybody else was sort of like herds of sheep.
Automatons.
You know what I mean? Or what?
Automatons.
Yeah.
Unaware.
Oh, yeah, automatons, yes.
Unaware.
And it's very interesting how really reminiscent that is of the world that we live in. And this is not a shot at people. What I'm saying, let me be very clear about what I'm saying, is that we like to think of evolution as something that happened and now we're evolved. No. evolution is still happening. And, humanity is suffering, and humanity is self-destructive. It's not as destructive nearly as it was even 70 years ago. Okay? Things are much better than they were. They really are. And we're moving in a generally very positive direction. Okay? And if you don't watch the media, it will be very helpful to you because they are just very negative. I'll leave it at that. And what we're doing here in places like the Peaceful Mind Center is we are on the cutting edge of the evolution of humanity, who through humanity's suffering is being forced out of unconsciousness. Because the unconsciousness is, and the egoic identification with mind is what's really causing the suffering. And so we are being very motivated to go beyond it.